Hello, Coach Liv here with Relentless Glory. And I'm going to go live with this Testimony Tuesday. I have a phenomenal guest today. She is a woman that actually goes to my church, but she goes to a different campus, so we actually haven't met in person. Um, Let me invite her in really quick. Her name is Tamee, and she just her testimony. I You'll hear it. You'll hear it. If you're watching this on replay, or if you're watching it on YouTube, definitely share this with somebody that probably needs to hear it. So listen to it, and then after you hear it, definitely share it with somebody. Tamee, I was just talking about how amazing your testimony is. And it's such an honor to have you here today. And I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for being here.
It's such an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting me. I will go anywhere and do anything I can to give God's testimony for what he's done in my life.
I love it. I love it. And we had talked before, and then I was like, yeah, I want to have your testimony on. And then it was at church, and I'm watching your testimony at church, and I'm like, I really need for Tamee to come on here and share her testimony.
Story.
Yeah, because I mean, God will show up in so many different ways and forms, and it's just about us allowing for that to be there. And
Yeah.
So if you want to just go ahead and start, you're more than welcome to.
Of course. So I will just go back a little bit. I'm not sure what the year was, 1999, I think. I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. So this message will help anybody who's ever been diagnosed with a mental disorder. You're still human. You're still human and you're still normal. It doesn't mean you're not normal. It just means things have happened to you that have made you, think differently or do things differently. There are medications for it, and there is a God. So I was diagnosed with the bipolar disorder. Have you noticed I said diagnosed? I'm not claiming that. But I'll take the medicine and I'll do what they tell me. That's fine, but I ain't claiming it. So diagnosed in around 1999. At that time, I was married. I had 3 children, and I had asked for a divorce, and I just knew I had a lot of problems, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. So I was sleeping constantly. I'd sleep just constantly for I don't know, I want to say 2 weeks, just be so tired I could not stay awake. Then it would flip, and I would stay awake I'd get 1 to 3 hours sleep a night, and I'd go like that for a month. And so that's a manic phase, and then there's the depressive stage. So it's like a roller coaster. So that's how my life went after that, after I got my divorce. And because I was such a mess, I gave my kids to my ex-husband. I was like, I can't do this, and I know you're a good dad, and I don't want to leave them with me. I'm scared because, of how much I was sleeping and everything. I was afraid and these big, hairy ideas that I would get, and stuff. It just wasn't safe. I didn't feel like. So I left them with him, and he raised them well. They've all graduated from college. So he did a very good job. And they're all adults now. But so after that, throughout my life, I just felt like I was a loser. I felt like I was less than, not worth anything. And so I was drinking all the time. And with drinking and taking the medication, the medication wasn't working. And so I was having all of these problems where I was constantly trying to commit suicide. I'd get drunk. I would go to the bar, be the life of the party, come home, be alone. and then start thinking and regretting and just hating my life and hating myself. And oh, that devil loves to come in and just blah, 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 blah. So I would constantly, I bet I was in the hospital more than 20 times for trying to commit suicide over those years. And when I think I was 42 or 43, I finally got in a drunk driving accident. And you know what's crazy is before that accident, I actually had talked to, I can't believe how many people I had talked to that said they'd had a DUI. I had no idea all these people had DUIs that I'm drinking with all the time. You know, I just didn't think it was I thought it was real rare, you know, like only really bad people get DUIs. And that's not the case. A lot of people that drink, I don't even want to say excessively, just a lot of people that drink have DUIs. If they drink, you know, often, it's very, very common. So I was sitting there thinking, man, I'm a sitting duck. I see this and I know this, and it didn't matter. It was Super Bowl Sunday and I was out drinking. And so on my way home, I actually slid on some ice. Thank God I didn't hit a family. I hit a tree. The tree's better. The tree's doing great these days. Because I drive by it every day because it's about 2 blocks from my house. I was almost home. And they say that's when it happens, you know, most people. So I hit the tree. This was a very, very bad car accident. I was out. I don't remember any of it before, or, you know, even a month or two after. I don't remember really much of anything. So whenever I hit the tree, I think I broke 4 ribs, and one of those ribs popped a lung, and my lung collapsed, and that caused me to go into cardiac arrest, caused me to flatline, and I died. So meanwhile, I'll come back. The person behind me that saw the whole thing happen, she got out of her car and she went to check on me, and she's stroking my hair and everything, and she realized, oh my gosh, I know who this person is. And so she called my neighbor, and my neighbor had just left a Bible study. And she called my neighbor, and my neighbor's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. So she hurried up and called the Bible study she was just at. They all stood arm in arm in a circle and prayed over me. And as they were praying over me, they heard the helicopter flying over. And that's when I flatlined and died. So they brought me back to life. They brought me back to life. I'm thinking maybe God did. Maybe that prayer was something to do with it. But let me shut my door. My dog's barking, and I don't think he's going to stop here. Let me just shut this door real quick. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Oh, I think he stopped. Okay. So anyway, they were praying over me. I flatlined again. And so they brought me back to life again. And the biggest question I get about that asked is, what did you see? What did you see? And all I can tell you is this. I did not see anything. I don't remember anything. So, I mean, there's nothing. But I will tell you, when I start remembering things, I'm out of the hospital and stuff, I'm starting to coming back to life, starting to realize, okay, oh my gosh, you know, what all happened to me, and thinking straight again. I realized I was stupid happy all the time, and I didn't know why. And I just was like, what is going on with me? Why am I so dang happy all the time? So it had nothing. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, God, thank you for letting me live, or praying or anything yet. I was just like, why am I so stupid happy? This is just not right. I even looked it up. I Googled it. I was like, I think I said something like near-death experience, excessively happy, or something like that. And really, there wasn't anything about it. I think it had said a couple of, you know, goofy things. And I was like, no, that's not it. They're not right. No, that's not what I'm dealing with here. I'm very, very, very sensitive to light, but I love light. I love light. I love being around. I can't stand a dark room. I love it being all lit up. and I'm going live all the time for my makeup business, and I'm always happy. And, so I'm cheering people up all the time. This is my goal in life, is to constantly cheer people up, build them up, make them happy, make them feel better about themselves, make them realize who they are and what they can become, and that no suicide attempts, no losing your kids, no bipolar disorder or mental disorder is going to define you. You are God's kid, God's
Amen.
kid. And it's just, I have goosies. I love you, God. But it's just such a great feeling. And another thing I noticed was that my mom passed away in 2006, and I had the wreck in 2014. So I was still getting over missing her a lot, and really a lot, because we were very, very close. And I realized all of a sudden I didn't miss her anymore. Like, what is going on here? I missed her so, so much. And suddenly I could see the bigger picture. It's like I started realizing all these things and understanding all these things that I shouldn't understand because I never understood them before. And I wasn't going to church or anything yet. So I was just realized. So, and another thing, I remember going to our church and asking one of the pastors, like, why did I go somewhere good? Because I know I did, because of all the things that are happening to me. And I was raised in church and saved when I was very young. So this is all backsliding, what I have done, drinking and all that. Because beginning of my life started out good. But I digress. What was I saying?
You were talking about, you were asking the pastors.
Oh, yeah. I went and asked one of the pastors. I said, how did I go somewhere good? I was sinning. I was drinking and driving. I was doing something very bad. How could I have went somewhere good? I don't understand this. And so he taught me about agape love, which is the love between a mother and a child. There's no words for it. It's agape. It's beyond anything you can imagine or understand. And I understood it. And he's like, Tamee, God is love. He's not of love. He doesn't have love. He is love. That is his essence. And I was like, I started understanding things more. So I started watching church online. I started to, I joined the makeup business because I was at home healing. It took me a good 9 months or so to just really heal up, because the ribs were causing me to cough a lot. I guess that collapsed lung, they were thinking, oh, that hurts so bad. And I went through a lot of pain issues and back issues, all that aside. Oh, and my face was half paralyzed. And so here is the car from my wreck. Can you see that? There we go.
Oh my goodness.
That's the car. They actually had to cut me out of the top of the car. And the door, this is the driver's side door. It's gone. It's not even there. So me and the tree I was just getting hit and hit and hit. So it was a bad wreck. But I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But there's just so much to it. And so I try to condense it. And every time I've told my testimony, it's been a little different every time. And I love that, because God uses me to speak to whoever's listening. So however I tell it, I'm sure it's for whoever's hearing it, so it's different every time. And I love that. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. I, to this day, will still say it's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Hands down. I would go through it again and again for everything.
Now,
I'm so happy.
thank you so much for sharing so much of your story. I didn't even have to tell you to go raw and all that. You were just like, I love it. I appreciate you so much. You're like, I'm going to send people this testimony and be like, this is what for future guests. This is the types of examples that I'm looking for. Jamie's watching this too. Jamie, this is what we're looking for. And I just had a feeling that so, and I'm not saying that it's for us. No, it's for the viewers. It's for the people that do get this message, because it's so important to understand that no matter how bad you think you are, God loves you, and God is love, and he will save you. And your birthday is coming up on Saturday. I'm so excited for you. And I mean, you're doing so many things in the community now. I would love, just because I know like the things that you do and how you contribute, I would just love for you to share how God has turned your life around on so many ways.
Well, going to church. First of all, oh, thank you. I see my light, and that just made me so happy. I can't read the rest. I love that. Perception, everything that darkness made, your light
That much brighter.
Ah, thank you. I love that. I love that. I love it. Okay, I'll get out of it. I am going to church now, and oh my gosh, praise and worship and all that stuff. But anyway, I did go to a different church and get baptized. And I don't know what led me to that church for what particular reason, but I realized when I look back on it, wow, God was up in there. I went to a different church. I really enjoyed it. Then the pastor left, and I was like, I don't want to go through that. And I went back to enjoy. But getting baptized was so significant, because when I got baptized, it was like, okay, I felt in my head like my life had changed. I had died to that old life, and everything that I felt about myself and thought about myself is gone. It is no longer. And God, it was showing me, hey, I don't remember that stuff anymore. You have changed. It's over. So get baptized. And so I did. I got baptized, and oh my God. And I had already been baptized. So it's okay to get baptized again. Just so y'all know, it's okay. So I got baptized again, and I saw the dove. I was like, I see the dove. But I actually did it on Facebook. So I took it live with me in a plastic bag, and I went under with everybody. Took them under with me. And all of a sudden, and I don't know if it was because of Facebook or what, but I think 13 people were signed up to get baptized that day. 83 got baptized that day. I don't know if it's because I shared it on Facebook, or if that's just the way it happened. If God was just moving people for whatever reason. We were pulling towels out of everywhere, trying to get people dry from getting baptized. It was the most amazing thing. And then just like, less than a week later, I think, then that's when the pastor decided to leave, and I went to enjoy. And things just started happening there. Everything was just rolling. Fast forward, I saw the pastor's wife, the campus pastor. That's a whole another rabbit hole. But the pastor's wife, her little boy came up, and he was like 5 years old. So cute. His name was Ezra. And Ezra came up, and they had said something, I wish he were in children's church, something like that. And I go, well, why isn't he? And they said, because of COVID, we haven't started a new children's church yet, and we don't have any volunteers, really. And I was like, me. I was like, I act like a kid all the time. I'm so dang happy. It's me. I'm supposed to do this. But I said to Charlotte, I said, I'm a little bit nervous, though, because back then I said, I have bipolar disorder. I don't claim it anymore. But I said, I have bipolar disorder, and I'm afraid of, what I might do, because I commit to things and then I quit. And I don't want to do that to you, because I love this place so much, and I want to feel like that again. She goes, I claim in the name of Jesus Christ that you will not do that. And she put her hand on me, and she meant it, and I felt it. And I went to that children's church and started, let me digress again. The other church, I remember seeing their children's church, because they were showing me around and stuff. And their children were raising their hands. Ew, gross. I can't believe I just did that. They were raising their hands. They were raising their hands, and it was so, it just touched me in a way like I can't even explain. I couldn't believe that those children were lifting their hands and praising in the praise and worship. And so I was like, oh man, that would be so cool. I would love, to do that someday. I'd love to get kids to do something like that. And I, started working with our kids, and I thought, that's never going to happen here, because these kids are no way, not about my church, about me being in charge and trying to get these kids to settle down. I was like, this is a mess. And then God intervened. Things just started working out, and people that we needed, how God puts the right people in the right place at the right time, and all these puzzle pieces came together. This one was organizing, while this one was doing praise and worship, while this one was used to be a teacher, was helping to correct the kids that were too hyper or doing out of hand, because that wasn't my thing. I didn't really know how or what to say. So it all came together, and now we've got these kids. They're raising their arms. They're getting baptized in the Holy Spirit. They are, and that was just recent. I can't wait to see what they do. And so Sunday is my 50th birthday, and I had to share it with Father's Day. So I didn't want to have a big party and take people away from, that, because that's a big deal too. But I'm so glad that I've lived this long, and so many children with cancer and people with, car accidents, all the things that have happened in the world. I've gotten to live this long. So you're darn right I'm going to live for them, and, and make the most of my life. And I'm half of 100. I'm so excited. I can't believe it. And I feel 20 until I get up and walk. Then I don't feel so 20, but it's okay. I'm just so excited to have these kids and to see the things they're doing. We raise money. We call it goat money. But we raise money to buy goats for families who have absolutely nothing, who sleep on floors and just no way to survive. So the goats give these families milk, and they can make things, and they can get another goat. We've gotten 2 goats for them before, and they can actually breed, and they can start selling goats, and they, all of this stuff. There's so much that they can do with it. So these kids, and I'm not kidding, have raised $1,286 already for these goats, and it only costs $125 to get goats for families. So it's unbelievable how these kids are raising money. This little boy cleaned his garage for his family and got $50 for it, and gave the whole $50. And this is a child that wants, an Oculus or a PlayStation, all this stuff. But he gave his money away. And that's learning from the very beginning of their life to give and to think of other people and to be, generous. And these kids are just blowing me away right and left. It's amazing. So that's what I'm doing these days. I'm just selling makeup and loving kids.
I love it. And I mean, I love how, I will say, like, Alton's campus gives so much.
Oh.
I was doing the summer sack lunch program with them last week, and there was a mother that was pregnant there with her 3 boys, and they were just helping out. And I grew up like always helping too. Like, that was one of the things my mom taught me how to do, and I love that we incorporate our kids in that so much.
Yes.
I mean, they're doing VBS right now, Vacation Bible School.
Yes.
Right now at Alton. I know we did it last week at O'Fallon, and the kids had a phenomenal time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, and granted, I don't do a lot of stuff with the kids, but it's such a blessing to hear all of the amazing things we are doing.
Yes.
And that God is doing through you. I mean, just the fact that He brought you back to life.
Yay!
Brought you back to life. What was that, like 8 years ago?
2014. So 6. Yeah. Wow. Golly, it feels like just yesterday. Man, I'm so happy to be alive. I love life. I am just, and my dad, he has become a part of my life now too. He lives in Florida, but still we have gotten so close. He's told me about different things, you know, because they raised me as a Christian. And so he's gotten back into it. And, you know, he has been like, oh, this book or this or that, you know, and he'll tell me about stuff. And, you know, my dad and I did not have a good relationship. We were not close. But it's so amazing to get close to this man that I am cloned from. I look exactly like him. I love the same things as him. You know, we're exactly like, and it just made us, you know, uh, uh, oppose each other. I can't think of a better word, but we just did not. I mean, we were like magnets that you put together that are the same. We, you know, wouldn't fit together. And now they flipped us around the other way. God flipped us, and we're stuck together now. We are all good. And he tells me, you know, I called him for advice for the first time. I'm not, maybe a couple years ago. And what he said to me, you know, it was very negative what I was saying to him. And he's like, Tamee, this isn't you. He's like, just do what you do best. Go be the light. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that's my motto now. That is my motto, is be the light. Tell other people to be the light in other people's lives. Be the light in your life. Be the light, you know, because that's God. That's God. And when I'm praying for a child or anybody that needs healing, that's what I envision, is God's light shining down into their body on that spot, wherever it happens to be, their head, whatever it is. And I just envision God's light. I just love God's light. That's my thing. So be the light. And I even have a t-shirt that says it. And that's what my phone says. I'd hold it up, but I'm on it. But it's just amazing what God can do in your life. Doing everything that God has asked me to do and reading my Bible every day, I'm starting to hear his voice. You know, I've been hearing his voice, but I'm starting to hear it louder and louder and louder. You know, I'm starting to understand, no, that's not for me. Yes. You know, this is for me. This is where I want to go. That's not where I want to go. Yeah, I'm starting to understand it all so much better. And it's like the same thing. It's like a puzzle of your life just starts coming together, and you start knowing where you're supposed to be, and you start feeling the blessings all over your life. It's just amazing how much God can do.
Amen. It truly is. It truly is. And Tamee, I just want to thank you so much for joining and sharing today.
Of course.
And if you watch this on YouTube, there are links below to reach out to Tamee. I'll add your Facebook information there. And what is your Facebook, just in case anybody wants to know?
It's Tamee Beachum. My name is spelled different. It's spelled like Tamee, Tamee. Just one M.
So yes, if you're looking to like follow her or anything like that, definitely check her out there. Sure. Tamee, thank you so much again for joining and sharing your life. It was such a blessing. And I will see you soon.
Yes.
We will meet in person.
Yes, I'm supposed to help with the sack lunches here soon.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so I'll see you soon.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
I don't know how to turn this off.